The process was wasteful of money, but also destroyed neighborhoods, completely devastated them because it was a human chain of misery that was rotating in and out of our community. Justice reinvestment for me means finding a way to stop that chain and a way to prevent young people from following it, and for those who come back from prison to be successful in the communities that they return to. And someone in one of our great thinkers in New York, the John Jay School, wrote a book saying they all come home. And all of you know that. They all come home, but very, very few number of them. And how they come home determines the future of those communities. And so if we've lost generations because we've forgotten that fact and forgotten that the institutions that they go to have to be involved in the business of returning them better than they were when they came to them. And so, to me, that's what justice reinvestment is. Now, today, later this morning, you'll hear about justice reinvestment's successful track record. States like Texas and Kansas have employed a justice reinvestment approach. The results are compelling. The federal government, like the Bureau of Justice Assistance and the private foundations like the Pew Charitable Trust, are taking exciting steps to promote and improve upon the justice reinvestment approach. In the afternoon, we'll hear about those programs, policies, and practices that research is demonstrating are effective in reducing recidivism and increasing public safety. Again, our objective is to translate key ideas put forward in presentations and the comments and insight audience members offer into an action plan for Congress. Congressional leaders with us today have indicated that such an action plan can serve as a basis for important new and national strategic initiatives. I want to thank first the Attorney General, Eric Holder, Assistant Attorney General for the Office of Justice Programs, Lori Robinson, Acting Director of the Bureau of Justice Assistance, Jim Birch, and others from the Department of Justice for their tremendous support for advancing justice reinvestment efforts. Thanks also to our partners who supported and helped plan today's summit, the Public Safety Performance Project of the Pew Center on the States and Public Welfare Foundation. And we'd like to recognize again Senator Whitehouse, Congressman Mollahan, and Congressman Wolf for helping to organize the logistics of today's event. We want to recognize our fellow associations representing state and local government who are working on these issues, the National Conference of State Legislators, the National Governors Association, the National Association of Counties, and the National League of Cities. Also, thanks are due those organizations who are advancing the research and knowledge of what works, the Vera Institute of Justice, Urban Institute, Crime and Justice Institute, the National Institute of Corrections, and the efforts of many groups such as the Prison Fellowship, working tirelessly for advancing these efforts at state and local levels. I also would like to acknowledge my fellow board members from the Council of State Governments Justice Center who will be involved in this afternoon's sessions. Representative Jerry Madden from Texas, Representative Mike Lawler, who we call the father of justice reinvestment, even though he doesn't look like he's that old, from Connecticut. We're also privileged to have with us today David Atkins, the Chief Executive Officer for the Council of State Governments. David, I saw you back there. Welcome. Finally, I want to thank you all for coming today, and special thanks to our speakers for their participation in the summit. And now I'd like to introduce Jim Birch, Acting Director of the Bureau of Justice Administration in the United States Department of Justice. He will take you through the next panel. Jim has served as Department of Justice for nearly 15 years. Prior to his appointment as the Acting Director, Mr. Birch served as Deputy Director of Policy in BJA, overseeing an office and efforts designed to provide leadership in criminal justice policy, training, and technical assistance, and to further the administration of justice. Formerly, Mr. Birch was Director of the Special Emphasis Division at the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the department's lead agency for addressing youth violence and delinquency prevention and strengthening the juvenile justice system. Please welcome Mr. Birch.
Thank you, Assemblyman Aubry, and I'd like to ask our audience just to bear with us for a moment while we switch panels here and go to the next presentation. Thank you.